Miguel Zepeda is a proven executive with over 20 years of growth experience in fintech, banking, and other industries. With over $500 million in successfully completed transactions across VC, investment banking, and startups, Miguel is driving growth stage opportunities to new revenue levels while achieving healthy unit economics for startups and S&P 500 companies.
Hello, fintech leaders and builders. This is Guts, Grit, and the Fintech. This is the show for strong-minded entrepreneurs who are not afraid to transform the financial industry and who are not afraid to take the risk to get the rewards and build the brighter financial future. And I am Vasil Solashuk from INSART, a fintech engineer and startup student innovation lab. And I'm excited to present you our new guest who is building the RegTech AI-based solution, and he is Miguel Zepeda from Complify. Hi, Miguel.
Vasil, thank you so much. And first off, really appreciate the interest on Complify and the interest of your audience on learning about us. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So nice having you today. And so my very first question, can you tell us a little bit about your background and why did you actually decided to found Complify?
Yes, Vasil. So just to give you a little bit of context, last year, there were $5 billion in penalties assessed to banks and fintechs around the world. And this on top of another $5 billion in penalties assessed the previous year. Many founders are behind bars. Many investors have lost all their equity. And the main reason is lapse in compliance, which is surprising. A little bit on me. I have been doing fintech for 15 years. When I started, it wasn't called fintech. It was called electronic payments, and we're doing wallets. Yes. And then I have been experiencing the growth on one side, being able to bank many segments of population that they don't have access to financial products before, and then also offering the current banking users a much better experience than the traditional banks were giving them, with better feature, better functionality. And that gives me like the entrance to Complify, because the truth is that fintech in the front end looks fantastic. All the apps are fantastic. The feature functionality are super engaging. But unfortunately, the back end of fintech is still manual, with lots of people working in customer service, compliance, and fraud. There's very little automation, and it's very difficult to scale as a fintech when you have to continue to hire for these back office functions.
Yeah, so I will agree with you that fintech during the last decade was primarily focused on improving the user experience on the front end, but still anything related to integrations, to data processing, to automating the business processes. So still there is a lot of room to innovate, actually.
Yes.
And so taking into account, what's going on in the AI space and some new capabilities that we have now. So can you tell us, so what is the specific problem that you're trying to solve, and who are your target audience?
Perfect. Absolutely. Well, going back to the penalties, right? So the penalties that the regulators are assessing on fintechs and banks are for gaps in compliance. The gaps in compliance are mainly because the operations inside of these fintechs are not mature. Most of my clients and the people I'm prospecting, they still use Excel, they still use email, they use Slack. Some of them, they use Jira to do compliance. And this is not the way to have a world-class compliance operation inside of the banks. they may say, well, I mean, it's very expensive to have a world-class operation. Only probably JP Morgan Chase or like Citibank or HSBC can have that because they're like huge banks. But I'm a small fintech. I cannot afford it. So I do what I can with Excel and then with the people. But in fact, I mean, if we look at how software has helped many of the functions of the companies, from accounting to reconciliation to customer service, I think this is one area of opportunity now for compliance. Compliance has been left behind from an investment perspective. There are not that many things that compliance people can use, but still, it's very important. And then finally, we want to do this better. So we're creating the next generation software for the compliance team. So that's why we're embedding an AI LLM inside of the platform, so that the compliance people are comfortable using the LLM to create the narratives that they need for the reporting and the automated notifications that need to be sent to regulators or inside of the company, without the problem of having to go outside of the platform to this public AIs that you don't know what the information is where it's gonna go, right? So we want to give them the confidence to use AI and to use LLMs inside of the platform. Rest assured that their searches are going to be confidential and information is going to be confidential as well.
So Miguel, can you tell us, what is the progress so far? So what stage are you in, and what solution you have already delivered? What are the plans for the near future, for the next several months? What are you going to achieve?
Yes, and we're excited because the 20 plus fintechs that we have engaged and we're talking to, first they needed help with compliance in general. You talk to the regular fintech CEO, he's like, well, I know something about compliance, but I need help, right? So we're helping them organize their compliance departments. Then the second thing that we have done is with the help of your team, we have created the first mock-ups and the workflows that will have to be developed to have a world-class compliance platform for fintechs. Also, we have identified the integrations that we're going to have to build inside of the platform, and those have been validated, which gives comfort to me and obviously to my investors that we can deliver on this promise of helping the compliance teams do better and just use better tools for the daily workflows.
So are you raising right now?
Yes. So we're currently in a pre-seed. The story of the company is we were incubated last year at Antler in Singapore. Chose Singapore because it's one of the most progressive regulations in the world. Includes traditional banking, but also digital banking and digital assets. So I'm making sure that we build for the future as well. So we got some grant money from Antler. We got some grant money from Silicon Valley Bank that's also interested in helping their customers become better at compliance. And now we're raising a pre-seed round of $550,000 to $750,000 to do two things. First, complete the software. So we can onboard the first 10 customers that we have already prospected, and they're like waiting for the service to be delivered. And then second, to just go out, right, and do our proper go-to-market launch and help as many fintechs as we can to move out of Excel, out of Jira, out of Slack, and into a comprehensive compliance platform.
So you mentioned Antler, and it's very interesting. So how do you see, as a founder, what are the benefits joining and participating in the program, in the incubation program like Antler?
I will say two things. I'm mostly on the business side. So although I'm an engineer by training, I've spent most of my life on business development and growing the businesses and managing the P&L, the cost, the salespeople. So I need help on the technology side. And these incubators, they do a good job selecting a mix of business people with technical people, and then have them just sit down and talk, right? And talk and explore what can be created. Sometimes it's a technical person who has an idea, sees an opening in the market, but he doesn't know how to execute on that. And sometimes it's the business people who has already an idea identified, but he's not sure how to build towards that. So if you're on either side of this equation, I mean, I will strongly suggest that you join an accelerator, either as a business or as a technical people, and then see what's possible. And next one is they provide a little bit of a support platform between the grant money, between the constant work that they do with you. So at least every week you have to sit down with your coaches and the support team to see how the progress has been done. So pretty quickly in 10 weeks, so almost in 3 months, you go from idea conception into almost be ready to do the MVP, right? To have the minimal viable product, so you can start servicing customers.
Yeah, it looks like a great program to speed up the launch of the startup. And by the way, have you found somebody? Have you found the partner over there in Antler?
Yes. So I found my CTO at Antler. His name is Enzo. He's from Italy, and he's helping me build the AI LLM that we need for the platform. So that's where he's going to spend most of his time, which makes sense because this is going to be the special feature that we're going to have as part of the platform. And then he's going to help me also manage the build. As I said, although I'm an engineer, I think I recognize that I need help on the technical side.
So are you two founders?
Yes. Yeah. So we're co-founders of the company, and we're the ones who are prospecting, building as much as we can, talking to investors, talking to potential clients.
So do you have anybody else in the team? What are the plans for team building?
Yes. So we recognize that most of the work that we're going to need to do is in the back end. So we'll probably start looking for a world-class engineer to help us set up the infrastructure that we need to do to provide the compliance services. Obviously, we're talking to INSART about building the platform for us. We feel comfortable with the level of expertise that they presented during the discovery process. So we're good on the software side of the business. And then finally, I'll probably start looking for a business development or salesperson to help me organize the pipeline for these fintechs that we have talked to or that I have connections to, and that I know that they need help with compliance.
Yeah, so from what we see with other startups, it's very crucial to have the real pipeline of specific clients at the very beginning and build the software only after you have at least somebody in your pipeline, some real clients, so you can do the customer discovery and actually negotiate some initial agreements possibly.
Yes,
and
that's right. Yeah, I forgot to mention, we have 2 pilot customers ready to go.
Okay.
They're assigned, and the commitment is they're going to help us test and improve the platform, and then obviously they can use it for a period of time at no cost.
Yeah, that's very good. So, I have seen some stories when somebody was building a product for 1 year, even not talking to clients. So,
Oh, wow.
it's very typical mistake for, some founders. So you should avoid this kind of mistakes, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's great that you have already like two initial clients. That's really great. So still, as we talked a little bit, so there are lots of companies trying different use cases with AI capabilities now. And we see more and more companies emerging. Still, there are some established players. So, who would be your competitors at the moment? Who would you identify as your competitors?
Yes. So there is the way that competition works in my industry in RegTech. It used to be that it was dominated by the huge software companies. So IBM, Oracle Finance, those were the providers to the big banks, but it was all in-house mainframes. Now, with the explosion of fintech, everybody moved to cloud and software as a service. So here you have less competition. There was a first set of companies that were created maybe 5-6 years ago when everybody got to the conclusion that there was a need in compliance and nobody was providing the service. One is by the name of Unit 21. So they were the first pioneers in creating this compliance as a service. One thing that has happened is that they have moved on a little bit from compliance. They're now more into fraud management, which is another area that obviously for me is part of my roadmap. I mean, eventually I want to move also into fraud management. But they're already there, providing fraud management services. This is a company that's valued at $500,000 at this point. There's another one, Hummingbird, still the same, and these two are you still need professional services to set them up. So what we want to do is offer a differentiated service by having but not needing professional service to set up our service. At Complify, we believe that you should be up and running in less than 15 minutes, and we're made for small and medium-sized fintechs as opposed to larger banks.
Yeah, Miguel. So it looks like you have a sweet spot on the market. So, and thank you for being with us today. And I would like to, and I would like to wish you all the best luck with fundraising and with all the next steps. And thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Vasil. For anybody that needs compliance services, you can find us at complifynow.com. Send us an email there.
Yeah, and we will put all the contacts with Miguel in the description for this video. And also, thank you for everybody who are watching us today. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And also, tell us what you think, what you see on the market, what kind of use cases you see on the market related to AI using AI capabilities in fintech, and more specifically in compliance, because we see more and more interesting use cases. So what are your thoughts? What do you see? Please put in the comments below. And like this video, share this video, and thank you for being with us today. It was me, Vasil Soloshuk from INSART, and Miguel Zepeda from Complify. And let's keep building the brighter financial future together. Bye-bye.
Perfect.
Hey, check more founder and leadership stories on our channel. Follow INSART, follow Fintech.